What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I just wanted to go into just recap today's games and also go into the night game because I think it's a very revealing game. We did have the Cardinals plus 10, so that didn't hit, but there was a reason I made it a first sequence. There was a lot of other games that I saw more favorable matchups with. This one, for example. So as it stands right now, the pace is looking good. Again, that doesn't mean everything, but the first was 58, meaning that would put it on pace for 232, and you can see it's 222. So the second quarter here, they're at 25 before the 6-minute mark. Now they're at 27. So it's on pace to go around 50, and now they made another shot, about 57, 58 again this quarter. So the first half's looking good, but this happened yesterday or 2 days ago where their second half they fizzled out. But I think it does go over, and we get that. That's a third leg, so that'd be a nice one. We did get the Blazers. I personally had them as with minus 10, and they changed. I think the line changed to like minus. Let me see. I got them at minus 10, and the spread moved. It's still covered. Minus 9.5. It's still covered. They only lost by 8, so that was a nice one to get. And today I thought there was a couple, and again, I think it's just the fact that people are just disrespecting the Blazers team, thinking without Dame they're going to get blown out. Now, Sharp had a horrible game. They had a horrible 3-point game, and they still covered because guys like Grant, guys like Nurk, guys like Justice Winslow, Hart, they all come up, and one of them, actually a few of them, will wind up shooting very well. So they usually are going to cover a spread like that. The public's going to fade it, though, because they're just looking at Dame. We did get this one, simple metric. This was Georgia was 0-4 against the spread. We picked them to cover. Same metric here with Florida State. They wound up winning by 10. Some shenanigans at the end, but it wound up hitting. And then these two we missed. So Mississippi State remains winless against the spread, as well as winless on the over. So we're going to take them again next time. That's no big deal. And then Arizona. I did pick hockey for fun. A lot of people suggested it. I didn't check the total, but we were down 4-1, so I can't imagine we covered that puck line. And then we did get the Clemson game, which was another important one because I think that was a second leg. Or did I already close them out? I know Clemson's in here. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, we did good with, like I said, I had put Georgia and Clemson as second legs for the sole purpose. They had the best metric as far as the Clippers do, too. The Clippers have a good metric. But they had the best metric as far as the record on the over-under, especially starting off. Now, this one was more about narratives. I knew that Jimmy G was going to look good and win. I thought they'd keep it close because I thought they'd want to keep these international games a little bit closer and these cross-country games a little bit closer. So I did think that Cardinals would cover the 10 without Kyler. I thought a lot of people would be fading them, but Jimmy G looked great. And the good thing about this, again, it was only a first sequence, so, and with the system, I don't take any one game and dwell on it anyway. But, yeah, we had Arizona here. That's a lot. Okay, so, I don't know, I put W there. There we go. So, anyway, but they talked about it again. They're trying to loop him in with Heineke and other backups, but they essentially said, what a comeback story. This guy was a backup on his way out, and just because of all these unforeseen circumstances, he's come back and he's won. I also found it interesting, maybe it's just me overthinking. He got so they were playing Mexican music, right? And what's his name? Kittle got the hat trick, and then he was dancing in the end zone as they played Mexican music. So I thought about the Mexican hat dance and maybe some symbolism there. And if you notice, they just gave Kelsey and Mahomes a hat trick, so they're doing the hat tricks this year. So maybe good player prop would be to get on certain players that they really, really push and pick them to get 3 touchdowns. I think, a lot of people are picking 2, thinking, okay, that's good odds. But I think the 3 could work. Now, you never know what game they're going to do it on. But, yeah, I think this solidifies my argument that Jimmy G's winning the Super Bowl. I've been saying this for a while. Ravens, Niners have been my pick since the preseason. And as the season developed, the Niners just became my favorite in general, where I could see maybe the Ravens not getting in the championship. I really don't see a circumstance in where Jimmy G doesn't go to the Super Bowl here. I don't see any. They're telling the story for us for a reason. So, I'm just going to play the narrative, and I think no matter what, however they get them there, I think Jimmy G wins the Super Bowl this year. Probably knocks out the Bucs in the championship. And I've done a couple playoff picture. I did about 5 weeks in, about 10 weeks in. I can do another one in about 2 weeks. That way where we have about 4 weeks till the season ends, and we will be able to, in my opinion, at that point, know exactly who's going to make it and not. I think we have a good determination now. But that's really it. The Jimmy G comeback story I've gone over before. So I mean, if you haven't seen that video, I think it's the only other one with Jimmy. You see Jimmy G on the thumbnail, and again, I went with that for a reason because that is what it seems that like they're pushing. So again, you can only have so many comebacks, and how interesting would it be if the Bucs and who are coming back, and that's more by default, and Jimmy G both came back only for Brady to go against his protege. So I think it's very interesting, and again, I think it gave away a lot of narratives. So I will have tomorrow's games out, of course. I'm going to look at all the metrics. As I said, with college, there is, as you can see, not all of these have some of these we took, today, like we took Florida State. We took a few others in here we took yesterday. I think TCU we took, but all of these are still in play, most of them, and there's still a few others. So with college basketball, I don't know our exact record, but I would wager to say if we've played 15 games, we've won 11 of them. We've done really well, and I think it's simply because, and we've done really well as of late with the NFL yesterday, with the NBA yesterday and today, and I think it's just playing the metrics. And as I said, with certain seasons, as the seasons come to an end, it becomes easier to see the narrative, which, by the way, I will be going into football and college football, and as seasons begin, we start seeing narratives. So that's, again, I still don't know any narratives with basketball, so if you guys want to drop some alpha in the chat or some knowledge, you can. Again, we did most of our picks today, Georgia, Clemson, Florida State. They were all, Mississippi State was the only one that didn't hit for us. They were all picks because they have yet to cover a spread, or I faded a team that, hasn't lost against it. It's a very proven metric, in my opinion. So, as you can see, we stand really well. We've been, since our last 3-leg loss, which has been a while, we still have a push from USC, but you can see how long it's been since our last 3-leg loss. Remember the math. For every 3-leg loss, we are afforded 7. We only need 7 to 8 wins. So you see all these wins. We could have taken a 3-leg loss here and still been good, but you can see that we didn't. We have yet to take this one. We're going to be playing a 3rd leg on. Or we could just push it, I guess, at 2nd leg, but I don't usually do that. But you can see we could take a 3-leg loss. That's why we're doing so well. We're officially 10x too, so everyone that's been following the system from the beginning, congratulations. We crossed the $1,000 mark today, and I include my initial 185, or I exclude, I should say, as far as that, and I also exclude any kind of separate future wagers I've done. But anyone that's been following from the beginning, I know people that pulled out some money now. And, mostly in the Discord, they talk to me about it. Or people that just say, had I'd be doing well, because I made the playlist for a reason. That way, there's nothing skipped. You can watch every pick in order and all my videos. That way, if you're newer, you can go back and see exactly when I picked the team, why I picked them, and what leg we picked them on. So, I'm glad that we're growing, because I think more people are waking up to it. And more people will be able to make accurate guesstimations going forward instead of thinking this shit's real when it's not. But yeah, I think we have a great idea over the pulse of what they're doing with the Niners. So we just have to keep our eye out on the AFC, see if they do push the Ravens or who they push there. And we'll be doing basketball, of course, and all that tomorrow. I'll get that out nice and early. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.